States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'd please remain standing, I'd like to invite Reverend Melissa Redford with Legacy Christian Church to provide tonight's invocation.
Will you bow your heads and pray with me? Dear God, we come before you this evening to praise you, to thank you. Thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for our hardships and struggles, for they bring us to you. Thank you for this city, and thank you for the leaders that you have put in place. Thank you for the impact and the wonderful things you have done among us. We praise you for all that you have done. Father, I lift these men and women to you, and I ask that you give each of them a breakthrough in their hearts and mind. Give them wisdom so that they can meet the needs and help those in crisis. Help them to set the example of how to love and to serve others. Father, I ask that you would commission each one of them once again as they serve you, your will, and this city. Help us to remember the most powerful thing on earth that we can do, which is to pray. I sincerely thank you for each one and their servant's heart. Help us to remember to keep them lifted in prayer before you. Please continue to be in this place and in our city and be our reason for the hope that we have. Amen.
Thank you. Please take roll call.
Abrams.
Here.
Menninger. Grubbs.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Dole.
Here.
Maines.
Here.
Galindo.
Here.
First item on this evening's agenda is approval of council meeting minutes for July 3rd, 2018, and special council meeting minutes for July 10th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or corrections?
So are we gonna yay and abstain, or how do we do the dual vote like that? Or will there be two votes?
Would you like to separate them? Okay, we'll do the council meetings for July 3rd first. So would you like to amend your motions in a
Yes.
second?
Motion.
I
So
second.
roll call for the council meeting minutes for July 3rd.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
And now for the special council session held July 10th. Roll call, please.
Gru- Oh, okay, we're gonna do, okay.
Oh, we
can
need a
second.
motion, I'm sorry.
Second.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Abstain.
Galindo.
Abstain.
Abrams.
Yay.
Okay, this evening, we have Dan Dieters with Energy Alliances here to discuss the gas flex down program that's going to be coming available to residents in the near future.
Good evening. Sorry I didn't come back with the electric. I sent my associate in to give you guys the good news.
She did good.
You want me to start with the electric real quick? Just a real little quick update on where we are?
Sure.
So the opt-outs all went out 8 days ago. In 2 days, the opt-out period closes. And then those names that folks that didn't opt out will start enrolling, and they will just kind of, they only do a certain amount a day from Duke Energy. They only send over a certain amount. So it'll take probably a week to roll everybody into the program that's not opted out, and the savings will start in August. So, of course, we've talked about several times, there's no real opt-out period. You can opt out at any time with no early termination fees. So people can come and go from the program as they wish.
But those who haven't opted out, there's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do.
Okay.
So this thing is ready to run, and the price to compare is almost 6 cents, and the Harrison price, as you know, is 5.04 cents.
So Dan, really quick, just run down some things that we've had people calling, say they're receiving phone calls and this and that. So
I got one the other day.
Go ahead and tell that story.
Those folks that are calling you on your cell phone are not folks with our program. They're scammers. I went through all the prompts and got to someone who I don't believe was from this part of the country or any part of this country. And I finally got to his rate, and his rate was 8.9 cents a kilowatt hour. So your residents are having to deal with these folks calling on their cell phones, and at the end of the day, they're not really telling them the whole deal. They're saying that some of the fees are gone, and that's not true. There are fixed fees that you see in your bill on the top that will always stay. Those are the PUCO fees for the utility, but you will see all those fees in the lower part of your electric bill go, and it'll say 5.04, and it'll say Dynegy Energy Services on it. And I will tell you that if it is not changed by your August bill, give us a call, and we'll see what happened. Could be that you were enrolled in something else, or got enrolled somehow by one of these folks, or you were in a program and the term's not up yet, you would not have been eligible. We can enroll you when that term comes up if that's something you folks want to do.
So that's one thing I want to also be clear on. I've had people call about this also. So if you did not receive a letter, that means you're already enrolled in another program and you need to call Energy Alliances. All the numbers are on our Facebook page. They're also, if you Google Energy Alliances, again, is it 794-5555? It's ridiculous that I have that memorized, but you can imagine, anyway. So there's no termination fees, there's no hidden fees, it's legit a savings. Price to compare is 6 cents. We're paying 5.04 cents on electric.
Yeah, nearly 6 cents, and that's the annual price.
That's the average, right.
Everybody has a different price on their bill every month, and the price to compare, that's just how Duke does it, and it's antiquated, and they're the only utility that still does it in Ohio.
So every household in Harrison will receive this if they do not opt out, everyone?
Correct. Well,
No.
everyone on the eligible list.
So if you didn't get a letter, the critical thing to find out is who you're currently with and when your contract period expires, because at that point, you need to evaluate, is 5.04 cents a kilowatt hour a good deal, or is what they're offering you a better deal?
So let me give you an example.
Right now, it's probably not.
There was a comment about eligible, so if they're not on a program,
If they're not in with
Yes.
a third-party supplier, they generally are on the eligible list.
Yes.
are there
Yeah.
instances where they're not?
Public assistance.
Yeah, if you received a letter, then you're in unless you opt out. So on a
Public
If
assistance?
you're on public assistance, correct.
So a quick personal story. So we started all this, we started our research and everything. And so I ended up calling Dan and I said, hey, so I'm looking at my bill and tell me, I'm done with this contractor, whatever. I'm not going to name because it's another local place that provides energy. And I was paying 9 cents. So just to tell you, unless you really pay attention, like these places will raise it. And that's the beauty of this program is there's no raising the 5.04 cents until August of 2021, and then we revisit the rates.
We'll revisit it long before then. And,
Right.
and actually, we watch every community's rate all the time to make sure if some giant dip would hit in the market, we could blend it and extend it. We've done that several times. We did it with Colerain and Green. We dropped their rate from 5.79 to 5.39 last May, and we extended it like 8 months or a year, something like that. So
Okay.
we don't just let it go. We'll be checking in. You'll get quarterly savings reports on the electric and quarterly reports on the gas, and those will all be available. If you call me, I can tell you what happened last month. The problem is since the utility is the credit, is the holder of the credit, they don't release their monthly numbers until the 8th month, 2 months later. So for June, we don't really see our numbers until August 8th as to usage and things like that. So August is one of the pretty high use months, so we expect to see people see a significant difference in their bill for August.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
had one question
Sure.
from, that's probably going to be, a lot of people have this question but haven't asked it. So they own a piece of rental property and the renter is responsible for the electric, but every time they change renters, it comes back to the landlord, the owner, with a letter saying that, they're out of the program or that they they're eligible. So is there a way that they can lock that down short of taking and including the electric in the rent?
Not if, no, because like I said before, the utility holds the credit. So if an apartment owner wants to say, okay, I'm gonna charge X, this is the average use, which if they wanna call us, I can tell them how to read it on their bill. It's pretty easy to do. It's like you turn your bill over the back, you can see what your average use is for each month, total kilowatt hours for the year. If you can look on the line, you can look at 3 to 5 years usage online. So you could kind of figure that out.
The challenge for a renter, though, is you might rent a family of 2 and then a family of 6.
Sure.
So your electric usage or your gas usage
Yeah,
could.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, the letter they get basically will say, this person no longer is the person responsible for this, so they'll put them back on when the account number changes, they'll put them back on the regular Duke rate. So what we do, since we handle a lot of apartment buildings, is we have a letter that we've given to town properties and other places that they hand to the renter with their lease and say, if you want to get into the program, call this number.
Okay.
So anybody can do it. I mean, it doesn't take 2 seconds to just type that up. But we do have apartment owners that will appraise their new renters that there is an aggregation.
Yeah. We have a lot of landlords that are not residents of the city, or they may live on the other side of Cincinnati or something, or even out of state. And so for them, it's a little bit troublesome when they get these letters as they change renters.
Yeah.
And they just were wondering if there's a way to stop that process, because but it's probably more of an educational process to the renter.
I would say more giving their renter the information that this is out there and available, and it's a good deal. So yeah, so always, as always, if anybody has any questions, they can always call us, and we're happy to talk to every resident all the time. If they call our office, we have an office of about 15 people. Everybody's in there is able to answer any question. And if there's somebody that doesn't have that answer, they'll find me or somebody else to make sure that your folks get the right answers. We don't make it up. We just make sure that people get it right. So, we move on to the gas, or is there any more? Okay, so if you look at what I handed you, this is the same type of letter that folks got for the electric. And where we are right now is we have generally between 150 and 200,000 gas homes in Hamilton County, Claremont County, Butler County. And it's important to us to make sure that in the December months to April, May, those months, that we are able to secure what we call the flex down price. And I will go through it in a pretty quick manner. I thought I gave a short description in the email. Basically, what Energy Alliances does is they pick out a good time that they believe is a time to buy the commodity. They buy a percentage of the commodity, and then they buy the remaining percentage of the usage for those homes in options. So if we set a price, so I'll give you an example. Last year's price was $4.75. It's actually 47.5 cents a CCF. That's 100 cubic feet of natural gas, and that's what you see on your bill. It'll say however many CCF you use, it'll say that number on there. So what we do is we go by a percentage, we buy options against it. If the price drops, we dump the options, we buy the new gas at a lower price, and we pass it on to your residents. If the price of gas goes through the roof, the options are executed, and then the price that we set, that ceiling, that flex down cap is set, and the residents pay the exact same price as we set in the flex down. So the rate can only move down. So where we are with Harrison is we have all these programs that are getting ready to expire in November, and we're going out to buy that flex down rate for December to May. And we believe that flex down rate is going to be in the low 4s, much lower than last year, at least 10% lower than last year, because things have been kind of dropping through the summer. although you wouldn't notice it because next month's rate, the Duke GCR, which is gas cost recovery, is 56.69 cents. Our rate next month is the capped rate of 4.75. So we have all these communities that will hold on that 4.75, and they'll get what is now a pretty significant discount on the gas in August, but we're not using tons of gas in August, so you won't see a giant amount in your bill. So what we've done is we've gone out and we've taken a look at our new townships in our new cities. We've brought in Harrison, Batavia, a couple others, and we've established that we think we can buy that gas at $4.38. And that will be the ceiling for September, October, November, which we believe is a very good price since it's 10% off the price we flexed it at the last 2 years. In December, we're going to try to put Harrison in with the other 150 to 200,000 homes that those numbers always fluctuate as people come on and go off, and they're high. That's a high range because we're about to do what we call a refresh, and we're going to sweep a bunch of people back into the programs that moved, changed, and we think it'll be between 30 and 40,000 people. So Harrison will be able to join into that group, and we will buy gas for all of those groups from December to May. And we think that price is going to be significantly lower than last year, and we believe the cap will be below 440. So a couple of things that I'm asking. Now, I will tell you this. We only do this with one company because there's quite a bit of risk involved, because if they don't buy enough gas, say we set the price at 440, we have a cold winter like we had the polar vortex a couple years ago, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. If they're using average annual usage to buy that gas, if they don't buy enough gas, they have to go out and buy more gas and still only charge the capped fee that we've worked out with them for Harrison or for Colerain or Green. So there's a pretty good amount of risk in it for them, but it's been a good program. We've hit the numbers pretty good over the last 11 years with it, and we believe that number this year, an at or below 440, we can execute on that, and then that rate will only go down for the 6 cold months of winter, no matter how cold it is. So that's what we're looking at right now. Constellation is the only company that offers this. The Energy Alliance is the only company allowed to offer it. We have an exclusive deal with them to do this program in the Duke territory. So basically what I'm asking you to do tonight is authorize the contract, and I don't need it tonight, of course. Authorize the contract from Constellation, pick a term, which is usually 2 years. Some have opted for 3 years, but 2 is usually the minimum, because that covers if we decide to go out longer than a year if the gas prices. And then I need authorization to send that letter out to lock in September gas and October gas and November gas. And that is it.
When do you need to complete that by? When do you need us to do our part of it?
As soon as possible. I mean, the gas moves, every day.
Are there out clauses on that 2-year term?
I don't remember anybody ever, I think there probably are. They're just as long as they haven't purchased advanced gas, I think there are. So if we buy gas for, say, a year, so we bought from last November.
Can you verify that? So
Yeah.
there probably are.
They are. As long as we're,
And
I'll tell you this.
and to know what
We've had somebody
the out
opt out
clause is.
up north. We
Yep.
had somebody opt out up north this year, and as long as they hadn't purchased the gas, we mutually agreed to let them go. It was, up north is a different animal. Sometimes we can't help them. Their gas prices are so low. And I wouldn't be standing here if we didn't think we could help you. And that's kind of what happened there. We both kind of said, you know what? Stick with the utility. It's a better price than we can sell it to you retail. You probably should just go on your way.
What are the benefits and disadvantages between fixed and variable options, 1 and 2?
Well, fixed, the benefits of fixed are great when the price is low.
Right. Then there's a margin call if they're not, right? You're
Exactly.
still paying it.
It's terrible. So So we've seen other brokers go into a fixed deal. If you look up some other areas around here, we have never had a fixed deal. We always like to set the cap because it protects your residents, but there were some other brokers around here that were at 5.52, 53 cents when the gas market dropped in March of 15, and our flex down jogged down every month to like 3.33. So we were very close to what the Duke rate had, but we didn't fix, thank God. We don't fix because we just don't do it. That's not our philosophy. Those folks in that area are paying, if you're using 200 CCFs, you're paying $30, $40, $50 more in January, something like that. So now variable, it's the same. We run a variable program. You're riding the market. It doesn't really take any.
Now, can you ride the market and you see that it's going the other way, call and opt into the other option?
Meaning.
Because we don't know what's happening geopolitically,
Well,
what's happening around the world. But so if we're riding the market and it's favorable today, but we start seeing there's trends going to go the opposite way, can you change your option from 2 to 1?
No, you cannot fix once we put the options in, because there is a cost to those options. It's like, do you insure your fire trucks? Do you insure your police vehicles? It's a very small part of the price. That's why we do it.
What % of your customers in the city are on option 1 versus option 2?
In the city of Cincinnati runs a NYMEX Plus program with us, which means they take the settle of the month, there's an adder, and then that's it. And then that's what the residents pay. And in 2014, during polar vortex, their residents were paying almost $7. And our customers were paying $4.75. That's why we put the cap on, and it can only drop.
So what percentage are in that program?
About 26% of our 150,000. About 30.
Are in the option 1?
The option 1 that's the flex down.
Yes, the flex down. What's
All but the city program. Every township, city, or village under the city of Cincinnati is in the flex down program.
And that's the one you don't have to do anything with. Option 2, you have to call in to declare option 2.
Sure. So we have 100 and, every day, there's 28 people in the variable program out of 150,000 that have called in to ride the market.
But still, at the end of the day, if we're talking 4.38 for September, October, November, and at that time prices drop, our residents have the ability to drop out of the program and go
Yeah, you can always drop out. You can leave
So
everyone.
at this point right now, we're talking 4.38, which is lower than the past 2 years. And if something happens, the important part to understand here is our residents have the ability to go
Absolutely.
back
Go
to
out.
their
We
Duke
absolutely
program.
Go out and we'll move to the other one, generally. We have never had Constellation tell us we can't move somebody from a flex down to the variable, because that's an instant moneymaker for them. Because they just tack on a fee.
So
the variable.
they allow a one-way move, but not the opposite, going from the variable
We've never
to
had them disallow anything we've asked them with regard to that. Never once. So during the polar vortex, we had people opt out. In February came, we had about 25 people ask to opt back in, and they let them all in. Even though they were losing money, by the way.
So to your comment, to piggyback a little bit more, is there a moratorium if I opt out? I'm in one program. Let's say I'm in this variable rate and I'm playing the market, and it goes belly up on me.
Yeah.
I opt out.
Yeah.
Say I'm going to go back to Duke. Is there a moratorium that says when I can go back into?
1 month.
But if you
call me, we'll probably put you in it.
But if you read option 1 though, Urbano, if you read option 1 though, it says there's a price cap, obviously, during the established capped period. If the market prices dictate, your monthly price could also decrease. So really, they're not going to ever be paying more than the cap. And the cap is 4.438.
I never say never.
You're never going
just
to pay
think-
more than the cap.
But this is.
But I'm saying if you're in the variable,
But you're-
there's chances where
What's the
you're
variable?
where you're paying below that. So
Well,
there's,
They run-
all
they
I'm
run
doing is saying,
That's
let's look
their
at the pros
option.
and cons so everyone has,
I don't have time to
Transparency.
look for the
Almost
variable.
together within a few cents
They're
of
in
each
parallel.
other,
Anyway,
unless the market jumps through the roof and then the variable goes with
Yep.
it. So it's a couple cents either way. We haven't seen anything other than that.
so the spread's pretty
Which
consistent.
is still, at the end of the day, lower than Duke.
right.
So, yes,
So when you get that
Annually.
pause,
annually, we
Yes.
have been lower than Duke every year. So what ends up happening sometimes in the shoulder months, where we'll take you back to when you come off of the flex down, and we jump into a variable like May, June, when nobody's using any gas, sometimes Duke will
you
beat
get
us
cut in the
those
spots.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our goal is December through March, really.
Right.
If we can pick up April and May for not that much more money, we'll do it. But our goal is to make sure in the winter heating months that we are below Duke, unless some disastrous would happen. We flex down below Duke. Duke was lower than 475, and we flexed down Jan, Feb, March below Duke this year. So those flex downs all work this year.
Well, we need to work on the summer months, because I have two teenagers that shower for like 2 hours a day.
Exactly.
So
I got 4
Seriously?
daughters.
that gas hot water heater is
Yeah,
killing me right now.
Hose
Right.
them down in the yard.
nah.
So I see what you're saying. This program was developed specifically for municipalities, so that when councils like yourselves set a price, we never have that deal where it jumps up. That's the purpose of the program. And it was, I mean, I'm not a genius. People asked for it. I just went to Constellation and said, how do we do this? And they say, well, we just go and we figure out what we think the usage is, and we buy the options based on that usage, and then we go. And those are different every year, how much we buy.
So the option one, the great benefit of that is it's a financial management tool. You know what your costs are, they're fixed. Now, if the market drops, if fuel goes down, natural gas goes down, there could be some instances where you're gonna be paying above the market or above that spot. Absolutely. So this is a financial management tool where it allows us to have stability to be able to manage that year over year.
But it's gonna run down with it to a degree. You have to remember that. So that cap is set, and if the market drops to the floor totally, it's gonna jog down with it over the months. But if the market goes, here's what I say to people. You know, this program's a great program if you guys are baseball people at all. We hit a ton of singles. And about every 3 years, we hit a grand slam and save a ton of money. But, you know, right now the market's been flat. We're fortunate enough to be able to come in with lower caps. And then, the options are a little bit cheaper. And, you know, we're under $5 gas. You know, it didn't happen for a long time in this area. So we're well below that. We're well below where we were last year. And, you know, I think that it is our recommendation that we do this for 3 months, and then I come back to you with that December through May rate.
And you'll come back in like October?
I come back
September?
next week if.
Okay,
if
if
the
you
market drops.
find what you're looking for?
Generally what we do is, and I don't know if this council's ready to do so, is give someone authorization to do an at or below. So if you say, you know what, you can come back, but if you can get it at $3.99, we'll let the mayor pull the trigger. So, yeah, that's what we generally do, is set a lower ceiling for
Threshold.
that. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But as far as the next 3 months, we'd like to be able to send that out in 10 days or 8 days, and have your folks just start getting enrolled, so that in November, we're not doing it in 3 months. We may have not bought, it gives us the time to buy December to May with a pretty good rate for the first 3 months.
Urbano, where you at on that? Authorizing,
Well, I'm always looking at the lower threshold now, but where I want to look at.
I didn't know if you want to see out clauses and all that.
The out clause, I absolutely want to see that. I mean, if the market starts going crazy, you know, I don't want to be locked in long-term without an out. So that I would like to see what the out clause is on those. I think whenever you get into a contract, you never go into a contract without the outs.
Totally
That's just
agree.
good business.
Totally agree.
And I don't need to, we
He
just
just
need to
said,
know
though,
that
you
there's
can
a
opt out.
mechanism for,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Well, no, an out clause for the 2-year term
Oh,
that
for
he wants
us.
for the
Okay.
council. We need to know what that out clause
Right.
looks like.
Put it in for a year.
Well, just let us know what the outs
Yeah.
are.
I did send you the contract, and I have not seen that specific contract. I know that there's something in there because we just went through this. So basically, what you're going to be looking at is the 3 months and then the 6 months. And then,
But you guys are looking strategically, want that
looking
long-term?
strategically.
Absolutely. And
I-
we
I
want to
s-
do the same thing. We
I
got to be
sold-
good stewards.
well, if you want to be really good stewards, I just sold a company down on Spring Grove Avenue out 5 years, and they're paying significantly less than an aggregation, because they're a company, they're loaded back what they use, they're using $250,000 gas a month.
It's consumption.
Exactly, and we're setting 5-year limits on all these.
Volume is
if they
key on
can buy
everything,
it.
right.
If their credit's good enough, they can buy it. I mean, the gas market futures, it used to look, in the old days, the gas market used to look like a hockey stick. Now it looks like a reverse hockey stick.
Kind of.
If you'll pardon me. analogy.
I'm in fuel every day, so that's what I
Yeah,
do.
so, we're selling more out than closer a lot of times.
Yeah.
As you probably know.
So you said you did send all the contracts out, and it'll have the outs there?
You have it in there.
All right, we'll look at
And
them.
if there's not, put
Review
one
them.
in.
Absolutely.
We're not
Perfect.
here to,
No, I get it. We just got to be still
Diligent.
diligent and manage
Yep.
this like it's a business.
Sure.
It's not just about us, it's about the city as well. Make sure that we have their best interest.
sure.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Shannon's going to introduce our next invited guest.
Thanks, Mayor, members of council. Some months ago, we started having presentations in the Chamber of Commerce for a multitude of reasons. Those kind of went by the wayside for a while, but I'm happy that Lori has taken it upon herself as Vice President of the Chamber to commit to being here at least once a month. And we're going to make the second meeting of the month the regular Chamber presentation update, and then the first meeting of each month will identify and announce the business of the month for the Chamber. So I'd like to invite Lori Ann Wright to come up.
Hello. So haven't been here for a few months, but rest assured we are still plugging away and planning and doing. We've done a lot this summer actually at the Chamber, so some good things going on. Through some communication, we're still a completely volunteer board, so sometimes we still kind of struggle with what's the best line of communication to make sure we get all of these things done, but we're trying to work on being more effective about that. So a few things that are coming up. We have our next after hours. They're typically on the second Monday of each month. Whatever that date is, from 5 to 7 p.m., and the location varies. This month is a little bit different because of the venue, so it will actually be held next Monday, the 23rd, at Green Acres from 5 to 7 p.m. They're going to have light hors d'oeuvres, beverages, do some presentations, just to let people know a little bit about what's going on at Green Acres. And then we also have one coming up not too long after that on August 13th, which is kind of a co-host of AccuDoc Urgent Care, but it will actually be at the Coffee Peddler from 5 to 7. They needed a little bit more of a social environment to host that event. One of the things that Shannon and I have really tried to stress to our board members are the importance of going to these networking after hours. One, it's really not, they're fun, but also a lot of our members will ask, like, when do you have monthly membership meetings, or when are you meeting with the membership? And these are kind of structured to be those membership meetings. So for people to come, get to know the other members, ask us questions. Of course, they can go on to the website and contact myself or any other board member with questions. So if you ever have anybody that's asking about the chamber or anything, just you can send them directly to me. That's fine. So please come to those. Bring some, if you know business people that aren't yet chamber members, bring those too with you. We'd like to really get those numbers up. On September 10th, we will not have an after hours that month because we are going to have the second annual golf outing. We have voted to donate some of the proceeds to police and fire like we did last year, and I think last year we cut checks for $1,000 apiece to each organization for a first year. We felt that that was pretty strong. So right now we have sponsorships available. I know last year the city I think had a foursome and maybe a small sponsorship, so we would love to have that again, but also foursomes of people that just want to come and play golf. That can all be registered and paid for online at greaterharrisoncc.com. Our Government Advocacy Committee, which I believe is primarily Gary Ellerhorst and Joe Moss, recently met with some of the leaders from Whitewater and Crosby Township. I think from our meeting today that Harrison Township was not there, but they plan to come in the future. They said that it was a pretty positive meeting to talk about maybe ways to collaborate and be more effective in these areas. So the next meeting is going to be in September, but that date is to be determined. As soon as we know, we'll make sure Shannon gets that info to you. The Workforce Development Initiative, we're going to have a town hall on Monday, July 30th, here in the meeting room at the community center from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. It's open, but we're asking people to register on the website so to account for food and what we need for that. I know that the committee working on this is very passionate about it, and they've expressed that they really want the chamber to have one of the strongest workforce development programs in the tri-state to help with that, but also to really get our name out there as a vital and growing organization. Other things, just past things that we've done and I haven't been here for, our June after hours was held at Titan Mechanic Solutions out on 128 near Strickers Grove. They were also our May member of the month. The June member of the month was the American Clockmakers and Watchmakers Institute, and our July member will be recognized here on August 7th. So that's kind of all we have going on. Do you have any questions? No?
Nope, appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Next item on this evening's agenda is approval of an ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain funds, wastewater reserve to wastewater construction fund.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any questions regarding the transfer? Roll call, please.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
That is ordinance number 23.
Next item is an ordinance authorizing the transfer of certain funds, recreation activities to the general fund.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions on this transfer? Roll call, please.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
That is ordinance number 24.
Next item is approval of an ordinance amending the amount appropriated to various funds of the city of Harrison, Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or concerns with this? Roll call, please.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
And that is ordinance number 25.
The next three items are in regard to the public hearings that we had earlier. The first one is approval of an ordinance to adopt changes recommended by the City of Harrison Planning Commission to Chapter 147 Supplemental District Regulations.
So move.
Second.
I think we had all the discussion earlier about this. Roll call, please.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
That is ordinance number 26.
Next item is an ordinance to adopt changes recommended by the City of Harrison Plan Commission to Chapter 143.07B1 DRD, the Downtown Redevelopment District.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
That is ordinance number 27.
Item 11, the title of the ordinance is not exactly what's written in the agenda, but I will read the proper title of the ordinance. Approval of an ordinance amending Harrison zoning map and ordinance, and this has to actually do with the design standards that we had the public hearing on prior to council, and these were recommended for approval by the Harrison Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
That is ordinance number 28.
Do we have any items that we need to add to the agenda at this time? I'd like to request that on the next meeting agenda, we have the gas flex down program on there as an item. Hopefully, we'll have some paperwork from Energy Alliances to get into that process. That brings us down to the reports. For the mayor's report, as was discussed during the meeting earlier, eligible residents should have received opt-out letters from Dynergy, and there's 2 days left to opt out. Officially, in the initial program, it is the ability of any resident at any time to opt out without a fee. So if in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or 6 months you change your mind, you can opt out, go back to Duke, or go to a third-party supplier. There is also no opt-in fee if you change your mind to come back. However, we cannot control what your third party, if you go to another carrier, may charge you in penalty to get out of the contract you may enter with them. The city's rate is 5.04 cents per kilowatt hour, and that is the price to compare by Duke is 6 cents, so it's about a 25% savings, and that price will be locked in until August of 2021. If you have any questions, feel free to contact probably any of the council members are pretty well versed, or myself. Again, there's no opt-out fee, there's no opt-in fee. So the program is available. If you're under contract, you will have not received a letter, and you will need to contact your current contract company to find out when your term ends so you can evaluate at that time. Something I learned tonight due to a question Mr. Urbano asked, or Galindo, if you're on public assistance, you're not eligible for the program. So you will not receive a letter and you are not eligible for the program. That concludes my report for this evening. Do we have a report from the law director?
Nothing to report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Abrams, do you have a report this evening?
I do, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I want to thank, of course, Reverend Willissa Redford for the beautiful invocation tonight, and of course, thank you to Dan Dieters for coming here and informing us, answering some questions about the recent energy electric aggregation, and of course, the gas. And thank you to Lori Enright from the Chamber. We appreciate all the work that you're doing here locally with our businesses. Hamilton County Emergency Management Agency has rolled out an impressive new emergency notification system, Alert HC. I know I've reported on this a lot, but I've received some emails and questions about what is Alert Harrison, so I'm going to repeat it again. You can select the types of emergency notifications you would like to receive. This alert system is tied into Smart 911, where you can enter important information you want first responders to know before there's an emergency. The City of Harrison is proudly partnering with Hamilton County Communications Center to offer Alert Harrison. You can sign up for alerts at alerthc.org. Again, Smart 911 and Alert Harrison, Alert HC, it's just a great program. So get on the website, check it out. Any questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer your questions. Local events, join us in the district this Friday for the Wine Walk, July 20th from 7 to 10 p.m. 4 Ohio wineries will be featured. You'll be sampling 12 wines and delicious appetizers. The district has partnered this year with Pink Ribbon Girls for this year's event. From the moment of initial diagnosis, Pink Ribbon Girls provides much-needed comfort to clients with breast and women's reproductive cancers. Pink Ribbon Girls offer support and services to their clients through the Simply Fight and No Age, No Stage programs, which offer free direct services for those in treatment to help with life needs such as house cleaning, healthy meals, and rides to treatment. In 2017, Pink Ribbon Girls provided over 72,000 meals, 2,000 house cleanings, and 2,200 rides to treatment. I hope to see you on Friday, July 20th. Join the fun while supporting a great local cause. Tickets are online or the day of the event. The next free concert in our summer concert series here at the Community Center is July 24th, 7 to 9:30 p.m., featuring Ryan Broshear. The rescheduled date for the Danny Frazier Band, which was a rainout, is August 7th. Join us for movie night on Friday, July 27th from 7 to 10 p.m. featuring the movie Coco. Enjoy free La Rosa's cheese pizza, snow cones, and popcorn while supplies last. The next recreation meeting is August 15th at 7 p.m. Our new event, Music on the Avenue in the District, is picking up speed. We're happy to report that we have had more people with each event. Of course, downtown Harrison, 200 Harrison Avenue is the actual address, August 8th, featuring 90 Proof Twang from 7 to 10 p.m. And last but not least, Harrison Historic Market is Sunday, July 29th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Firehouse Lot, 200 Harrison Avenue. Come out and enjoy fresh produce, honey, jams, cupcakes, crafts, soaps, and much more. Everything there is handmade, and local people throughout the county and Indiana come and sell their goods. And then also, yesterday, I know last month, our last council meeting, we had the pickleball players here telling us about pickleball. Well, I went yesterday and I learned, and I'm not going to say that I was good because I don't really think that I was. But anyway, it's fun, and it's certainly a game for all ages and skill levels. Seriously, there were people there was this one court that was like for the elite players. Like, we weren't allowed to go over there, the beginners. So anyway, super easy to learn, super, I think it was quick. It was easy. The games are really fast. So it's not like tennis where you're there for a long time. So it's kind of a cross between tennis, badminton, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty neat. So I'm looking forward, Building and Lands, to having a discussion because they are asking the question, come on, pickleball in Harrison, yes? So we'll look forward to hear from you, Urbano, later. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grubbs, do you have a report this evening?
Just a couple items, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. First, I also like to thank Lori for stopping out tonight. Look forward to the events as we go into the fall. Those chamber after hours, while a lot of people overlook them, they are important events. I partake in the activities of a couple different chambers of commerce, so haven't been to too many of the Harrison ones just because of different scheduling conflicts. But I know it's important to the community, and the chamber is important to the community. And golf outing, we're gonna have to talk about a golf team, being a banker and all. It's kind of part of what I do, so we'll have to talk about a golf outing, or putting a team together. I do want to thank the Rec Commission real quick also for the 4th of July activities. They really worked hard on putting that whole event together for our community, whether it's summer fun, which was about 150 kids, and then turning around, doing all the different movies, doing the summer, and then putting together all the activities for the 4th of July. They had caricature artists and clowns, and they had all kinds of stuff. Some guy walking on stilts that made me feel like a little person, which isn't really easy to do.
Well,
so.
we're trying to change things up this year, yes.
They did an absolutely fabulous job. The fireworks turned out great. I know it's easy to ridicule, but this is an event that they worked hard on, and I thought it really turned out good. So if you have a chance to send them a quick note on their Facebook page, please take a second and let them know how much you enjoyed it. Finance Committee didn't have a full meeting this evening because our Finance Director has been working on the health insurance that I've been talking about the past couple months, and she's trying to get that transition completed and done by this evening, which is interesting in itself. But we did have a brief discussion in regards to future funding ideas in regards to the fire levy that's currently in place. What we're doing is we're putting together a team of individuals. It's myself, Mark, Urbano, Cindy, and Hank, along with both our fire and police chief. And the mayor will be attending the meetings, even though he'll be kind of a silent voice in the meetings. But I'm sorry?
And our finance director.
Oh, and Kathy, our finance director, a very important part of it,
Yeah.
to talk about future funding to kind of support where we go from here. Obviously, our levy expires in May of 2020, and we want to be ahead of the game. We don't want to overlook any avenue. So if there is anyone out there that's interested, please reach out to us, because this is going to be a totally open and public conversation session. It may start out where we're just brainstorming as a team, but eventually we will get to the point where we're calling on the community to provide feedback and input. So begin thinking about those things, and if there are questions, please reach out to us. I think that's it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mayor. Just to add on to what Ryan was just saying, this is a community effort. We need to find solutions for our community, not just what City Council can dictate, but what the community wants to see going forward when it comes to safety services, first responders. We have a great group of police and fire in this city, and we need to keep that, and this will determine how we can do that and at what level we can do that. So we're definitely looking for the public's input during this whole process, so that would be it'd be very good. Police committee met this evening. We had a pretty brief meeting. We had to get in here for public hearings, so we got through this pretty quickly. The monthly traffic crash analysis for June, there were 29 auto accidents. 24 of those were on public roadways, and 5 of those were on private property. We also had the retirement of one of our sergeants. Sergeant Herberger retired a few weeks ago. The civil service process is proceeding with the top candidate to come in during his absence, because of his absence. The anticipated start date of that new officer would be August the 13th, as long as everything goes as planned. Chief will also be having oral interviews for the promotion of one of our current officers to the sergeant's position. We have contract negotiations going forward. I believe, as we mentioned 2 weeks ago, we are going to be going to mediation with the FOP to try to get some help in nailing down a contract with them. That mediation hearing will be on the 16th of August at 9 a.m. And that's it for, next meeting of Police Committee is going to be on August the 21st at 6 p.m. Then as far as fire goes, I'm filling in for Hank since he was not able to make it this evening. Also a very brief meeting. The chief gave us the monthly report and the Medi-Account billing report, which seems to be right in line for the month. One thing to note that there's some public education going on with the fire department. Firefighter Amanda Reardon is conducting babysitter classes for children between the ages of like 8 and 15. It's not set in stone, but somewhere in that range. Teaching them CPR, teaching them do's and don'ts of how to handle younger kids when you're babysitting. So if there are any kids in the city here who want to get this training, it went real well with the first 6 students. you need to contact firefighter Reardon, and she can get you going. I don't have a number at the tip of my tongue here. Chief, how do we get a hold of her?
Her name's listed on the website under public education tab.
Okay, listed on the website. Next meeting of the fire committee is also going to be on the 21st at 6:30. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dole, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. On July the 10th, the Planning Commission met. We had 3 items on our agenda. The first item being the relocation of an existing DRD business to 104 Harrison Avenue. That was approved by the Planning Commission. The second item on Planning Commission agenda was, with the DRD design standards, and we did approve those design standards for recommendation to council, which we adopted tonight. And then the third item was an application for a new business on South Walnut, and we tabled that due to the proximity of the design standard approvals. So we should have that at our next meeting then. Then that was all we had at our July Planning Commission meeting. The only other thing I've got is Streets, Utilities, and Wastewater Committees will have their next meeting on August 7th at 6 p.m. That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Maines, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do. Thank you. Very quickly, the tree board meeting scheduled for next Tuesday is canceled. We will meet again on Tuesday, August 28th at 7 p.m. here at the Community Center, room 110. Our yard waste cleanup, we will be holding that July 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can bring your yard waste, brush, tree limbs, etc. to the Harrison Street Department at 510 Industrial Drive. And just note that those yard waste cleanups are always last Saturday of the month unless we note otherwise, like a holiday or something like that. And then finally, our 4th of July fun run, we had 95 participants. We had 35 sponsors, and after expenses, we're looking at bringing $3,551 to council. Maybe the next council meeting, we'll do a presentation on that if we can. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Glendo, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, sir. Real brief. So we will be having a Building and Lands meeting on 31 July at 6 o'clock here in room 110. One of the discussions, Cindy, will be pickleball court. I have reached out to a few individuals. This is something that every meeting we've discussed it. It's, as we come in, we came in as a new council in 2018 with budgets already set, so looking to get something. One, we'll be expecting to get some quotes on not only pickleball courts, but some other projects that we have to get done, but to be able to make sure that we have funding for a project like this, and hopefully as early as 2019. This is something, I guess, that's been being kicked around or batted around, maybe, pun
Yeah,
intended.
for a
Batted
while.
around for some time. I think we need to come to a point where we make a decision. If this is something that we do, we either fish or cut bait, right?
I
So
agree.
have a plan in place for that. So this meeting is open to anybody that ever wants to attend any of the meetings. Some of the other topics that we will be discussing is budget planning for 2019 to try to get a budget in place for some of the parks. We brought it up in the last council meeting 2 weeks ago. So that will be, like I said, 31 July at 6 o'clock, or for you military folks, 1,800 hours. So other than that, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
I do know that some of the township trustees have been getting some quotes on pickleball courts. They've been looking around at the community center grounds for what facilities are available, which ones are being utilized a lot, and I guess it depends if you view that glass as half full or half empty as to how much the current tennis courts are being used, because we've heard from some people that they're not used at all, and I've had reports that they're used heavily. So I guess it's if you're wanting to use it for something else or not as to how busy that really is.
It's hit or miss. I've been out there and we've seen them.
Right.
We've seen them out there.
But personally, I think that reducing the use of one facility to give another use is not as beneficial as having a separate facility for that purpose. And if you're going to take a basketball court or a tennis court or something away, it probably, the amount of money invested would be a really, really good down payment on building the separate facility.
And that's one thing that we've talked about. We've never had a discussion about replacing a current facility infrastructure to replace it with pickleball. What we've been talking about this point so far is a new facility or a new court next to the tennis court is kind of where we've been at. And we've had quotes that came back for one court or two. And if you're going to break ground and put in a facility, it's just as cheap to do two than it is to do one.
Well, and you'll use two, because I was at the Sailor Park Rec Center for this game, and in the gym, half of the people there were from this zip code. Like, they came over to me and said, I am from Harrison. So, again, if you want to know who will be using this, I'm telling you, those two courts will be used.
Well, I think we take it a step further, and if this is something that we do, and we do put a pickleball court, I think we break it in with a city council challenge.
Well,
mano
good,
a
because
mano
I've already had a little practice.
I'll bring the water cooler and sit on it.
No, you won't. Yeah,
I will bring the official scorecard
There
as
you
well.
go.
that's no fun.
Anything to raise funds for the mayor's fund, right?
Do we have any other business we need to attend to?
Yes, sir.
Motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Lewis.
You got me this time.
I got you, Skip. Lewis. Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.